Thanks for staying tuned. My case, rest, President Buhari. Rest in peace or rest in power is how we bid someone farewell when we have fond memories of them. The only word Nigerians agreed upon while bidding former military head of state and two-time President Buhari farewell was rest. It was mixed reactions. Some people were cordial, others were outright hostile. While cautioning ourselves not to speak evil of the dead, a few people weren't having it. They claim our culture of respecting the dead is oppressive. When the person is alive and horrible, we say respect their office. When they die, we say respect the dead. When are we allowed to truly tell the truth about horrible people? There will be people who have issues with you regardless of how kind you are. Not to talk of the leader of the largest African nation in the world, whose business is to make tough decisions and not sell ice cream. But people accuse us of being forgetful, and that's why Nigerian leaders get away with doing the barest minimum. So they recounted the sins of President Buhari. From the Zaria massacre of about 300 members of the Islamic movement in Nigeria, IMN, whose offense was blocking the convoy of the Chief of Army Staff with their procession and public disturbance, to the then detention of the IMN leader El Zakzaki and his wife from December 2015 to 2021, regardless of court orders that seemed oppressive, rather than serving justice for their alleged crimes. 3 of the couple's sons were executed and their properties destroyed. Also, the October 2020 Endsars massacre of the young people who were peacefully protesting police brutality while holding the Nigerian flag. Over 100 people were injured or killed. Some had to flee the country. There was also the senseless 2022 cashless policy that saw old men cry because of lack of access to their funds for emergencies like food and drugs. Look, many people had different horror stories of the Buhari 8 years. I guess our parents who witnessed him as head of state from 1983 to 1985 are not on social media. Or they're more forgiving, or maybe as accused, forgetful. President Buhari's second coming doffed his first, and though his widow, Aisha Buhari, begged Nigerians to forgive him before he was buried, the vitriol doubled on the day of his burial. Some of us could not put our emotions into words. Anger at a culture that allows the worst of us to rule the rest of us and get away with it, while leaving millions in abject poverty, instability, living in internally displaced persons' camps when the country is not at war, and the sheer lack of infrastructure. I mean, African leaders patronize foreign hospitals and are only sent back home to be buried. For all his campaign promises and even a 2016 government policy banning medical treatment abroad for government officials, President Buhari's body was sent home. Just like he wanted to send Umar Rico back to Nigeria from London in 1984 in diplomatic baggage. Here's my verdict. Of course, everyone will die. But if you want to be remembered well, then make sure you're kind to humanity. If you serve a nation and it's only your family and friends that have good things to say about you, that's telling. May the faithful departed rest well.